After the longest shutdown in U.S. history, today marks the first full week the government is open again. And a new CBS News poll shows who Americans believe succeeded in the end. 55% of respondents, and I'm going to ask him in a second, I believe it's Democratic respondents, say President Trump and Republicans got more of what they wanted in the deal that ended the stalemate. Just 6% say Democrats succeeded in the negotiations. So here he is, CBS News Executive Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, joining us now. Did I get that right?
Well, take a look at this. This is the majority of Americans who say that Donald Trump and Republicans got more out of the deal, right? Many more than, say, the Democrats did. But the compelling thing here is when you look inside the parties, and I'll show you this, among Democrats, just over half of them think their party compromised too much. And what's important about that is that this tells a story not just looking back, but also looking forward, because you're going to see this dynamic play out through 2026. How does a party that is out of power deal with, right, the executive that's in power, et cetera? This is part of what played out in the shutdown. And you don't always see a party critical, if you will, of how its own party in Congress handled things to this extent. So that's really notable. And then I'll just sort of button it up with this. The thing Democrats were telling us that they felt, number one answer was frustrated and dissatisfied. So that kind of puts all that context to what they've just seen.
This could be emblematic of a greater problem within the party, that many Democrats feel like their lawmakers aren't fighting hard enough for them, right?
We have seen that in other polling. Democrats saying that they're frustrated, that they want to see more opposition. But of course, technically, they don't have the votes, right?
Right. What were the expectations for how things might change now the government has reopened?
Okay, so this is the looking forward part, right? Couple of things. One is, you do see 2/3 of Americans thinking that their health insurance premiums in general might increase. Okay, that's that big number. But the other part is, look, over the last month, we've covered so much about many things, including air travel and air transportation. And now just over half do think that that will get better. But right, the politics of this going forward into 2026 are certainly going to echo for a while.
That 65% thinking their health care premiums will go up. That's fascinating.
People are often skeptical about what might happen to costs, especially these days. But the other part of this is that most people said in the poll that they knew that this fight was about health care. And so to that extent, that overall context was there.
Interesting. Anthony Salvanto, thank you as always.